Novak Djokovic might in fact be the all-out or the favorite to win this particular edition of the 2023 Australian Open. But unfortunately for Novak, controversies never really seem to be leaving him too far behind, whether or not he tries to evade them. Now, during his fourth round victory against local lad De Minaur, what happened, unfortunately, Alex De Minaur was his name. What happened was that Djokovic ended up, picking up a bit of a hamstring injury, and during that time, well, it did turn out that a lot of people posted accusations that he was trying to fake it, that he was maybe playing mind games, and well, let's just say that Djokovic didn't take to those accusations too kindly, and afterwards did in fact hit out at his critics who accused him for faking it. He said that there was a lot of double standards and the others aren't held to the same standards, and that their words give me strength. This is just the short version of it. The long version is what we're going to go over right now in this particular video and look at what exactly it is that Djokovic said and why exactly it is that he seems so angry about this entire situation. Now, first off, he said very clearly after the match, he said that, look, I leave the doubting to those people who doubt me. Let them doubt. Only my injuries are questioned. When some other players are injured, then they are the victims. But when it is me, I am faking it. Now, again, truth be told, this is not exactly a new controversy for any tennis player. This sort of a thing has been a problem for many other players, whether it be getting injured mid-match. Rafael Nadal has been accused of it. Roger Federer has been accused of it. Then there are other players who tend to take strategic, toilet breaks. Stefanos Tsitsipas was one player who had that particular issue where anytime the match was going against him, he'd end up taking a toilet break and thus breaking the momentum of his opponent. Now, so things like these, tactics like these aren't necessarily a new thing in the sport of tennis, and it probably won't be the last time we've heard of such a thing, but you can understand why it is that Djokovic says that, only I am held to such a standard. But is it true? Not really, because again, any player who does this is held to the exact same standard. Even if they're legitimately injured, there'll be enough people out there claiming that, look, they were faking it, it wasn't real, it was mind games. So this isn't exactly a new thing, yet it does continue Djokovic's recent habit of making everything seem like the world is against him. In fact, he actually continued on talking about this. He said that, look, it's interesting to see how the narrative around me continues, narratives that are different compared to other players that have been going through a similar situation. Now, he's again, as I said, he's not named names, but the implication is pretty clear. There have been other players like Nadal, Federer, Tsitsipas who have been, caught up in similar situations who, according to him at least, haven't really faced the same amount of flack that he was getting in this particular case. So obviously that in itself is something that, well, it is debatable to say the least. Because again, as I said, tennis has a long history of, players actually using such tactics for mind games or disruptions. And anyone, even if they're legitimately injured, it really is a case of innocent until proven guilty. So Djokovic isn't really being held to any different standards here, but the case is unfortunately not going to be helped by him saying things like this. In fact, these weren't the only things he said. He had something else to say as well. He said that, look, he's claimed to have proof on all of this, by the way. He said that, look, I have the MRI, the ultrasound, and everything needed from 2 years ago when he had also suffered a similar injury, as well as now. Whether I'll publish it in a documentary or on social media, well, that depends on how it is I feel. So he's saying that, look, you can doubt me all you want, but I have proof of the injuries that I have suffered. I'm not really faking it, and I will publish those proofs as well, but not because you're asking me to. I'll publish it if I feel like it, maybe in a documentary, maybe just on social media. It depends on how it is I feel at that given moment. But the message from Novak really is simple. He's doubling down on what it is that he was claiming. He said that, look, I've been unfairly persecuted. I have the proof that I was injured. This isn't something new. But again, it really comes back to the all-important, debate that centers around Djokovic, is that he never seems to leave controversies too far behind. Now, in this case, I actually do have some sympathy for him because, well, such a thing can happen to anyone on the tennis court. It is very, very possible that a player will, in fact, suffer an injury, require treatment, and then will end up soldiering on. That does tend to happen a lot of the times. But when it does happen, there always is just that little bit of skepticism that you'll see from tennis fans who think, oh, maybe they're faking it, maybe they're just doing it to try and, reverse the trend which they're going through, try and stifle the momentum of the opponents. It's nothing new. Unfortunately, Djokovic speaking out on these things will only, unfortunately, make the target on his back bigger. But according to him, it doesn't seem to bother him too much, and he's only using it as motivation or strength. At least that's what he says. Me personally, I think it's best if he just lets his tennis do the talking, because quite frankly, it does seem very likely that he's going to be adding to his count of Grand Slam titles. But that's just how I feel about it. What do you guys think? Do you think Djokovic should just focus on his game? Do you think it's fair that he speaks out? Do you think he's actually being maligned? You can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you know when we're going live or uploading a new video as well. Then you can go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And last but not least, don't forget to download the AajTak app. Thank you all once again for joining us in this video. I hope to see you with us through the day. For now though, goodbye.